I'm kind of missing Christmas. I don't want to wait another year for like Christmas to come around. Because it's so long.
Hey guys, happy Friday. Welcome back to another video. The lefties have really come out to play today. Normally I will hunt down clips for you guys. I'll go directly on TikTok and search around. I didn't even really have to search hard today. I just, was checking out some of my usual people I check out on X and random people just posting, videos, and it's like, wow, I can use, I'm going to use that one too. Found a good handful of stuff just on X today, and that's what I call the lefties come out to play. So, if you guys are ready for some delusion, hypocrisy, and all the other crazy lefty stuff, let's get into it.
I'm really struggling with this. I don't get it. Our president is committing crimes against humanity. War crimes, treason against America, and acts of sedition, and y'all ain't even outraged. Where's the call to action? But what are Americans doing? We got Democrats being performative at best, and Americans boycotting Amazon for one day. For one day. You guys better put a little fucking pep in your step. The end of America isn't coming. It's here. And if y'all don't get a little more outraged, you're gonna spend the rest of your life being a fucking slave.
Whenever I'm having a bad OCD day and my fear of germs is getting the best of me, I try to remind myself that I used to regularly do blow off of random surfaces, mostly the backs of toilets and bars. I'm gonna be just fine.
My mom just said that they took children from school so that their parents would come and get them so that they can deport them. Anybody who makes it seem like, oh, you're gonna stop talking to me because of my politics. Oh, you're gonna say that I'm a bad person because of someone I voted for. They are playing in your fucking face. Just make sure you don't play in theirs.
I don't want to hear a single MAGA coming onto this internet when more than 22 veterans a day start. Don't want to fucking hear it.
So according to our current White House administration, pew-pewing children in a school is not classified as domestic terrorism. However, violence against Tesla vehicles or Tesla dealerships are domestic terrorism. Let me say that again. Going into a school and pew-pewing children is not domestic terrorism, but violence against Tesla is domestic terrorism. Thank you for finally telling us what we've all known, that money is more important than kids.
No, money is not more important than kids. This is a little bit of a touchy one, so I'm going to try and approach it gently. The difference as to why a school shooter is not considered a domestic terrorist. For one, a school shooter generally suffers from some type of mental disorder, whether it be way too much medication, somebody who's been a depressed loner, picked on their whole life. Even if you guys have noticed, I don't really want to pick on them, but a few of them in the manifestos turn out being transgenders, so that does fall under mental illness. Now, the difference with people that are burning down Teslas, why they're being considered domestic terrorists, well, that's a whole different ballgame. It's all premeditated. Now, yes, the school shooter's premeditated as well, but the school shooter is usually, in most cases, 99.9% of the times, a single person. You guys, and I'm speaking to the liberals, have all coordinated this. The liberals now even have a website called DogeQuest. It's like a little MapQuest app or website that has the location and home addresses of all Tesla owners. They've doxed them all. Somehow they've gotten into, I guess, the database, however many, maybe Tesla dealerships, I don't know. But they've doxed them all. And even to top it off, if you want to get off of DogeQuest, you have to show them proof that you sold your Tesla. Besides that, they're coming for your Tesla. Thankfully, they're starting to get busted now. They're starting to get arrested and whatnot and facing heavy, heavy crimes. Yeah, for keying a car, facing 5 years is pretty steep, but maybe make an example out of them. You want to burn the car, burn down a dealership? Yeah, you deserve the 5 to 20 years. That's domestic terrorism. Even to top it off on this Dogequest site, they've doxed Kash Patel, the director of the FBI. They put his home address on there. These people are absolute lunatics. So, no, again, touchy situation, but a school shooter is not a domestic terrorist. What's going on right now with you crazy liberals is borderline terrorism.
Who wants to play What the Fuck? Where we guess the next big fuck up of the Trump administration and Republican Party that causes us all to go, what the fuck? I'll go first. I bet they not only pardoned the senator, the one that just introduced the Trump derangement syndrome bill and then got arrested for soliciting a minor. I bet they not only pardoned him, but put him in charge of the missing and endangered children's register. Who wants to go next? Cheers.
What you want to bet? Elon's burning his own Teslas for publicity and because an insurance claim is better for his bottom line than stale inventory. I mean, his bestie's already a felon.
Hi folks, Donald Trump is not well. He is crazy. He's out of his mind. You should be terrified. I'm terrified. We have to impeach and remove, impeach and remove, impeach, remove, imprison. He's crazy and he's working with Vladimir Putin.
I don't understand how there are still people in my comment section thinking that everything that's going on right now is okay. Guantanamo Bay has only ever held 800 people. He wants to put 30,000 people there. There is not enough facilities for that. 30,000 people in a tiny space sounds like a concentration camp to me. That's what it sounds like. Are you fucking kidding me?
Has everyone seen the video of these Venezuelan men being taken down to El Salvador? It is some sick ass shit. I mean, they're already in like wrist cuffs and ankle cuffs, and those are chained together, and yet they've got two guys on either side of each one of them holding them down as they walk in almost like a fetal position. Then they're being held down as their entire heads are shaved, almost bare. Like, I don't want undocumented, violent people to be here necessarily either, but this is not the way. This is disgusting, sick shit. I don't want to hear another fucking thing from anybody about joining a church, going to church, or Christian values. This is not the moral high ground, people.
Okay, so almost 15 years ago, I've always been somebody who's owned pets. I used to own a little Senegal chameleon reptile. First reptile, last reptile I've ever had. I just fell in love with it in the pet store one day. This little thing came up to the window. It was really cute. A tiny little thing, only about that big. The only thing I didn't like about owning this reptile is it had to eat live food, which was crickets. It had to eat crickets are dumb little things, but I had to feed them live crickets. I didn't really enjoy that part. Now, these crickets were so dumb, they would walk, if the chameleon wasn't hungry, it wouldn't eat the crickets right away. So they'd walk right on the chameleon's forehead, and you know what I mean? They were that dumb. They didn't realize that they were walking right on their predator. The reason I bring this up is liberals are kind of like crickets. They have all this sympathy and empathy for dangerous criminals. These gang members are being treated the way that they're being treated in El Salvador for a reason. These guys are like walking death machines. All these people that they're talking about, chances are each and every one of them have taken multiple lives and didn't even think about it. Went home and had a beer and had a sub or whatever they eat in their country. Didn't even think about it, didn't even lose an ounce of sleep. It's ridiculous that these people will defend hardened criminals the way that they're being treated in El Salvador. Now, I've seen the video that she's talking about. It did look pretty rough to me. I felt a little bad for a second until I reminded myself of who these people are. They don't care about that. These people, their empathy, I got to be careful with how I word this, but their empathy could be their end. Just like the cricket with the chameleon.
These motherfuckers completely disregarded the judge's rule about getting these records in by noon, those flight records of shipping off those migrants to El Salvador illegally, disobeying the order. They had every right to appeal the decision to get those records in by noon. Now they are outright flouting the order. So, constitutional crisis before now. We are definitely in it now. He is outright defying a judge's ruling.
It is way more American to be left and Democrat than it will ever be to be a traitorous right-wing MAGA nut. Can't argue it.
Trump, I don't think you're aware of how stupid you really look. What the world thinks of you. You arrogant, narcissistic orange.
So the tangerine tyrant is rolling back segregation. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. You'll make it that much easier for me to find out which building you're in. Guess we'll be having a cookout at that building. Except I'm not bringing food. And it's Yahtzee meat on the menu. And you want to know what I'm using for kindling? The building.
Y'all, it takes one time. It takes witnessing a man smack a woman once, a kid get bullied once, someone being discriminated against once. You see it once and you don't say anything, the second time just doesn't seem so bad. It takes one time for the cycle to start and never stop, which is why I will be damned if my children ever witness me roll over and not stand up for another human being. The Trump administration and the way they are trying to turn people against each other and create this volatile, hostile society is something I will never stand for, and I will not let my children grow up to think that treating one another like this is acceptable ever. So I will fucking go down fighting because I'm scared. I'm scared of what's happening. I'm scared of what's to come. I hate crying on the internet, but this shit is real. What is happening in our society and what Donald Trump is doing is real. And it's time that we stand up and show our kids that this is not the way. This is not okay.
Now, when it comes to people that have the woke mind virus, they don't believe in something like predictive programming. They think that's a conspiracy theory. They don't believe that we've been conditioned. They don't believe that we've been desensitized. If you guys really think about it, back when I was a kid, there was no swearing on primetime TV. There was no form of nudity. There was minimal violence. Now, think about it. Nothing phases us. Nothing phases us at all. Several months ago, I mean, nobody knows if it was legit or not, but you had that whistleblower come out and basically say, oh yeah, we have all sorts of alien technology. And it was the first time it was ever like sworn open in Congress. That's a huge deal. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. That was a distraction. That was part of their predictive programming, but distraction didn't really faze anybody, so it was kind of a fail. JFK files just dropped. People don't really seem to care, which shocks me because when they dropped that day, I actually got a little like jittery in my stomach. It made me a little bit nervous because I didn't really know what we were heading into. Now, just how you can be desensitized with conditioning, you can also be extremely sensitized. It could work the opposite way. And you see that with this young lady here. Now, think about it. During the whole Biden administration, these people were pretty much all desensitized as to what was going on with the border. Nobody cared about this whole Laken Riley situation. It's only people on the right that actually speak out for this poor young girl and the other victims of these illegal immigrants that committed those terrible crimes. But now that Trump's in charge, the programming is reversed, and it's like, oh my gosh, look at everything he's done. Everything he's doing is real. These people are literally puppets. It's almost like there's an on-off switch that somebody gets to hit from a remote location. You know what I mean? Like, all right, flip all their switches on. Empathy, kick in. Hatred for Trump, kick in. And when she brings up that there's no way that she's going to let her son grow up without caring and taking care of other human beings, that is a nice quality to have. But again, we already know what she's talking about. She's probably talking about, again, the El Salvador prisoners, other migrants that are being sent back home. This was not an issue during the Obama administration. Where were these people? But no, they've been conditioned this way. So it's almost like the border was open to let all these people in. The liberals are the border to try and stop them from going back out.
This is not a safe space for MAGA. Not at all. Not safe. If you don't want me to attack you, don't fucking make a comment. You guys are so fucking blind and so fucking hateful that it is making everyone hateful. Fuck off. Do not comment on my shit. You suck. You are the scum of the earth. You're below the scum of the earth. And for when any one of you maggots that do comment, I'm going to automatically report it. Automatically. I'm going to fucking flag it. Go ahead, give me a try. I'm not even going to fucking read what it says, even if it's, oh, I'm sorry, you're a little upset, or even something that's semi-nice. I am reporting it. So fuck off.
You know, I was just sitting here thinking to myself, and I'm watching all the news on TikTok, watching about all the town halls and everything else, and just everything that's happening right now in our country. And the only question I have for myself is, when are we going to stop talking? And who's going to throw the brick?
All right, TikTok, help me out. I need to find a voodoo doll maker. I need J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, Caroline Levitt, Donald Trump. 4 of them. So somebody help me out. I need 4 voodoo dolls. Let's go.
The type of work that I do, if you know or if you don't know, I do a lot of stuff with my hands or whatever. And the first thing people say when they see my nails is, oh my gosh, let me get that out your hands, or oh my gosh, let me get that for you. I would hate for you to break a nail. First of all, I will drop your stuff before I break my nails. I will drop your stuff before I break my nails. I need you to understand that. I'm not breaking my nails. Your stuff will get dropped. But thank you for being concerned.
So I just need to know from all the MAGAs out there, do you guys, like, you don't care about federal aid for students? You don't care about college? Like, you really don't care if the kids can apply to go to college? Like, if student aid is being taken, if the Department of Education is being shut down, then what happens to FAFSA? Like, what happens to the website for all of the students to go and apply for student aid? And you guys really don't care about that? Like, you really, like, don't give a shit about that? Because we have kids graduating in, like, 3 months. They are applying for college right now. Like, what is wrong with you people? Like, these kids are 18. Like, what am I supposed to tell my son? Like, sorry, babe. Sorry, babe, half the country voted to make it so you can't go to college. Like, what the fuck?
All right, first, it's not only ridiculous that she's crying about this Department of Education situation. I don't see why there's even a single tear on her face. The statistics are there. They're not Trump's statistics. These statistics are legitimate statistics that are there showing what he said is true, that American education is the highest cost in tuition, yet bottom of the list when it actually comes to being educated. Paying the most to be the dumbest. It makes no sense. The Department of Education is a massive fail. It's going back to the state. It does not mean that your children are not going to get to go to college. It'll actually mean that you're probably going to have less tuition fees. These people are crying about not having the ability to be $300,000 to $500,000 in debt, depending on what road you take in education. And chances are the courses are going to be cleaned up as well. I mean, where it's only like viable jobs that will be there for when you are finished your schooling. All these people that have taken gender studies, what the hell job is lined up for you afterwards? You got a shit ton of debt. But where do you think you're going to work after? Where do you go to get a gender job? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Okay, guys, as usual, I do have one more clip for you. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you guys are new, and I shall see you guys in the next video.
Guys, I messed up. I messed up So I had a kid on Monday. They said their pronouns were she, her. Then on Wednesday, yesterday, they came to me and they said, you know what? My pronouns are they, them. I want you in the class to use they, them. Okay, cool, great. They come to class today. There's names on desks in groups for assigned seats. They can't find theirs because I guess my first class knocked it off. So I go to the class. Hey, is she in anyone's group? Does anyone see her name? It took me 5 minutes to realize what I did. So someone asked a question yesterday, what do you do when you mess up? Well, we all mess up. So what I did when they were sitting by themselves, I approached them and said, I screwed up, didn't I? And they said, yep. And I said, I am so sorry. That is completely 100% my fault. I apologize. I will not get it wrong moving forward. Please know I heard you when you told me your pronouns and I will get it right. That was totally my bad. I apologize. So that's what you do. You own it. You apologize. They, they were happy that I came over to them. They were disappointed in me. I just saw the look of disappointment and I was just like so disappointed in myself. But we just get better. We learn, we grow, get better. I will not F it up again.